fabulous message. Okay. Hello, everyone. I've already said that. Okay. Bring my energy down. We had two wonderful guests arranged for you today. Now, we had some issues with streaming with one of our guests, and their message is beautiful and important, so we've decided to reschedule, and we'll let you know when they're coming back. Good morning, Carol Anne.
Good morning, Anaya. What an exciting morning we're having here, and it's really interesting. The messages were obviously that we weren't to go live today, so we will bring these two awesome people to you in a short time. We'll reschedule and get it to you.
And so we're just going to I'll fill you in a little bit on who our guests for today are. I'm just going to get their info up so I can read it correctly. Okay, so we have Rosie Ware and Messenger Salah booked for today. And it's lovely people. Oh, they really are just lovely, lovely people. Now, they're from Soul Adventurers Foundation. That's SOL, Adventurers Foundation. You will find them at souladventurers.org. Now, their mission is, Rosie contacted me a few months ago with this wonderful opportunity. Their mission is to connect and reconnect youth and elders. Isn't that wonderful, Carol Anne?
I just think that's such an inspiring method that they want to follow, and to be able to bring the two together is just spectacular, because sometimes, you know, this is it. The youth and the young people need to talk to the elders because they have different kinds of questions and different things that they'd like an answer to.
Yes. And so the idea was that it's passing wisdom on, passing it forward to the next 7 generations. And what particularly inspired me was I was asked to submit a topic that I'd like to talk about. All the topics were presented to the young interviewers, and without knowing who they were, what their names were, no pictures attached, who are you drawn to interview? And that's how the connections were made. It was honestly, I would say, one of the most fantastic conversations. I flew in that interview. The energy was beautiful. So we're going to set a new date and we'll let you know when that is. So today we're going to move forward and talk about whatever pops up, basically, Carol Anne. I think one of the things for me, it's knowing when something is timely and when there's other reasons to release and embrace the opportunities presented in the space that's opened up.
Well, that's right, because sometimes we could put too much pressure on ourselves and say, it's got to happen, it's got to happen, it's got to happen. But if it's not the right time for it to happen, then it's not going to be the message that's wanted to get across, because we were getting signs. This is not going to happen today. This is not happening. They can't get on, and there were lots of problems when they did. And so we were getting lots of messages, and it's about listening to the messages in every way that we receive.
Absolutely. And we have got in Angel Heart Radio's page. If you're not watching on Angel Heart Radio, come join us over there, because that's where we can see your comments. And Gabby's with us. Woohoo! Hey, Gabby. Gabby is an amazing artist. Oh, I'm hoping that we're going to get the opportunity to present some of her art to you. Her dragon art is literally out of this world. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is, and we both love the dragons, and so we love the dragon art and anything. And she's been sending photos of cloud formations that are in the shape of dragons, and we're all just so connected to the dragons because they're here at this time, and it's how fortunate and blessed are we.
Absolutely. A friend on Facebook contacted me privately to share some things that are happening for her in her life. Really big things, and how much of a struggle it's all feeling for her. And so I was guided to say to her, you know, Carol Anne and I I'm sure Carol Anne will agree. In fact, I knew you'd agree. We'll do a special show for you and for everybody else on dragons. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 4. We're doing 4 elements, Carol Anne?
Yep.
We're going to do the 4 elements with the dragons, how they work, and do a guided meditation for each one so you can connect to each and every one. So you can really see for yourself how they can work in your life for you. And she's thrilled with that. And then she sent me a photo that was taken of something else, but in the background, there was a dragon.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, wasn't it a great photo? And she'd only just taken that photo a couple of days beforehand. So we felt very, very connected to that flow of energy.
Yeah. And this is it. People have impressions of dragons from years ago. And some people are quite frightened of the dragons, but the dragons are here to help us as part of the elemental realm and to help us as we ascend into the next era, the golden era, I think, is the next one that's coming. And, when we start working with our dragons, it's just so beautiful. And the dragons are on a very similar energy, etheric energy, to the angels, and everything they do has to be for the highest good of all. And so they can't do anything awful, they can't do anything bad,
and they wouldn't want to.
They help us.
Yeah, they absolutely wouldn't want to.
No.
So it's gorgeous. Now Gabby says she's going to love that, and she says she has been given a beautiful dragon meditation. I need to record it. The dragon energy blows my mind.
Yeah.
I want to really encourage you to record that, because the more we have wonderful people like yourself expressing your beautiful nature through the gifts that you're given, the more every single person, every animal, every blade of grass, every fluffy cloud, everyone and everything benefits all over the planet. And that benefit then radiates out. It's not just restricted to the planet we live on.
Oh, that's right. Because out there all around us is the universal life force energy. And that is just filled with love and this is what makes the plants grow, the flowers bloom, helps us to breathe beautifully. And it extends out, as you say, way beyond our beautiful planet. It extends way, way out. And so, to get as much as we can get the words out there, the meditations out there, share the love and the gifts that we all have, then that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. So in that vein, Enlightened World Network does a meditation a day. So you might like to check out their page on Facebook as well and see what meditations they're presenting. It's one every day of the week. There's lots of ways, Carol Anne, out there that we can not only express ourselves, but support others who are expressing themselves as well.
That's right. And through Enlightened World and Angel Heart Radio, angellight777.com, there's so many tools there that are available for you. And you can choose what it is you want to listen to or what you want to watch, depending on how you are feeling at that time. Because sometimes, we might do a meditation a day or something like that, but it's not quite what you want to hear at that moment. So you have the choice to go back and listen in Enlightened World and in Angel Light 777. So many tools that are there just for you, and you will know which one to choose.
Absolutely. It's having that trust. In fact, the angels got me to put up a page on Angel Light 777, and just thinking which tab it's on. It's on the menu, somewhere in the More section. It's the first one on the menu, and it's a drop-down menu from there. And they are encouraging people to flex their trust muscles, because it's like a muscle. We need to build that.
Yep.
We need to express and grow by that flexing of our muscles, of our trust and faith and joy.
Mm.
And so one of the things they've got on that page, which I really love, they've got 5 pictures and they're all the same, 7 pictures, they're all the same, but everyone leads you somewhere else. And on that page somewhere, there'll be something that will be supportive for you right now. And it was me doing my flexing my just muscles as well, because it was like, but will they get it? Like, maybe I should be a bit more specific. Maybe I should. And that's part of the process that I go through when I'm creating. Sometimes I let it flow, and other times I question. And I used to give myself a hard time about that, Carol Anne, until the angel stepped in and said, your questions are important. Question is important. It's what you ultimately do after the question.
That's
If
right.
it's right, do it.
Yeah, because the questions help us get to the place we're meant to get to. Because if we just went along blindly sometimes, heaven only knows where we would end up. But by questioning, they can come in and they can guide us and they can support us and they can help us to get to that place that we're meant to get to. Because sometimes, you know, it's all about, you know, yes, we encourage you to use your intuition and to do all of those things, but we also encourage you to set up this relationship, this correspondence, this relationship with your angels and with everybody, so that you know that when you get to the point that you get to, that's where you're meant to be, and that's where they're going to give you that guidance.
That's what's so important, you know, and it can't be overstated. It really, that's nothing we've not said before many times in different ways. And yet sometimes the ears that hear aren't ready to hear, you know. Sometimes it's about, you know, the angels can give me a message and I just don't want to hear it because I want to do something else or experience something in a different way or create it in a different way. So they just stand by, they're just with me and they just let me go through what I need to go through until I eventually, you know, come back around and go, okay, well, I can see that. And that is one of the things that I love so much about working with the angels and dragons, ascended masters, archangels, my own guardian angels, my spirit team. There's so much support there, Carol Anne, that it's never a judgment. And you just did such a great show with Annette McCoy on discernment versus judgment. So there's never judgment, or it's always to help us to grow our discernment and trust.
It is. Yeah, because, you know, this is our journey in this lifetime. And so it's how we do this journey that is how we're being guided. But, you know, we're each here on an individual. As much as we're part of the whole, we're also an individual within that whole. And, you know, we need to think of the we, not always the me, but there are times also when we're setting ourselves a particular, I'm not going to say job to do, but a particular thing to do, that we sometimes need to get this little feedback from our guides and our angels. And so there's nothing wrong with questioning them at times. You know, like, are you sure this is the way you want me to do this? And it's amazing when we do that and we set up that communication with them, what we end up with is so much better than if we'd just gone blindly along and done what we were thinking of in the first place.
It's about becoming leaders in our own life, they're saying right now. It's about taking up that leadership role, which we are all fully capable of expressing. It's a mantle that we are well able to have to embrace.
Yeah.
And we often think of other people as leaders and ourselves as followers. And I don't actually think there's any such thing. Yes, some people have a really great in a leadership role, and other people are fantastic in a support role. So together you make a really coherent, constructive, beautiful team. But one without the other doesn't exist.
No.
Right?
No.
So it's not about being a follower at all for me.
No.
You know, it's about it's that seeking to, it's that going in, it's that experiencing our journey in very meaningful ways for us, and not everyone is going to understand that, accept it, or even support it.
That's right. And that's why, you know, a lot of these people are in our lives because they don't think the same way that we do. And that's great, because it would be quite boring if we all thought exactly the same and we all did everything exactly the same all the time, because there would be no growth happening within our soul world. And, you know, we're here for a purpose, even if we don't understand what it is at this time. But it just made me think of many years ago, I used to see all these amazing people on the TV, and, you know, people who were doing their spiritual journey. And I used to think, oh my goodness, you know, how amazing are they? I could never be like that. And, you know, that was a real wake up call for me when they said, well, yes, you can, you know, they're doing their role, and you're going to do your role. And that was a bit of a hard lesson in the beginning, because it was like, I can never be as good as them. Oh, look, they open their mouths and these magic words come out of them. I get tongue tied. And so it was really and truly quite a battle at sometimes, because I used to put them up on a pedestal, and I think that's basically what it was. And I used to think I can never be up there on that pedestal with them, but they wouldn't be up on that pedestal if it wasn't for all of us. So, you know, it's a whole team effort to do these things, and you know, all of us can do everything if we just allow ourselves. And we just trust and we believe that we can do it, because we can.
Doreen Virtue said something really powerful in 2003 when I did the Angel Intuitive certification with her here in Brisbane. So, you know, it's a long time ago now, but a lot of the teachings I learned from Doreen when she was working with the angelic realms have stayed with me and been very powerful for me. And one of the things she said to us was, don't put me on a pedestal. She said, it's a long way to fall, and you don't get any work done on a pedestal.
No.
And it really struck home with me. It really, because I was doing the same thing. Oh, whereas at the end of the day, I mean, she's taken a completely different path in life. And it's not a path I've chosen to experience with her. Yet it's giving reverence and thanks and gratitude to all of that time. And then again in 2006, when I did the advanced course with her, that was so mind-bogglingly opening for me. I had a lot of experiences in that particular one as well, that I'm still so grateful for today. It helped me so much to embrace my own path in my own way. I don't need to be like anybody else.
No.
And, you know, whereas before I thought I had to do it like Doreen, for example, if I'd, you know, but that's part of not having someone on a pedestal.
It is. And I think the interesting thing about, you know, Doreen's story is that, you know, I don't necessarily agree with where she is now, but this is her path, and she has been strong enough and brave enough to go along and change direction and to go along this new pathway that she has chosen. And so I'm like Anaya. I went to her courses, and, you know, yes, I suppose I did have her up there on a pedestal. But it's like, I remember reading a story once, and then they said, some people will follow a guru, and then when that guru drops down, then they'll follow another guru, and they spend their whole life following gurus or putting them up on pedestals. And the thing is that, yes, you can learn something from them. I've learned a lot from Doreen. And you know, that's helped to shape me in some ways and parts of who I am. But it's also about me being able to use my own intuition and my own discernment and not bring any judgment into it, but look for what is the best thing for me, the one that I can feel comfortable with, the knowing that I'm taking this pathway with love and kindness and gratitude and compassion and all of those wonderful things that are with us when we just stop and relax and breathe. And now I don't think I really, except for now, because I don't have anyone up on a pedestal.
Girl.
This is it, you know, like, but you know, it's really interesting how we can change our perception on so many things.
And it's okay to change our minds.
Yes, we realise we're so much more than we thought we were.
Yeah.
And this is available for all of us, no matter what you do in life.
Big welcome to, can't quite read your name on the screen. We've got a lovely new person. Is it Alyssa? Let me know what your name is, Honeybun, in caps, please, so I can read it. Welcome to the chat room. Thanks so much. I love this. If you're watching on the Angel Heart Radio Facebook page, in the comments section, when you put your comments in, I can see you while we're live on air.
Yeah.
And I love it because you get to be part of the show as well. So if you've got comments, questions, feedback that you want to share, we can include that as part of our show because you are part of the show, right?
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
This is why we're here.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right. So one of the big things I've done recently is I've been working on it for quite a while, and it was interesting how sometimes a question from someone or a request for assistance from someone can really bring a whole new energy into something. I'd started a page. The angels said that they would like me to create the Angel Light 777 angel numbers. So no copying. Together we write them. I mean, angel numbers are angel numbers, right? So they've got a basic meaning there. But it's not just taking what's already out there. And it's been such a gorgeous journey. Man, it's a lot of work, a lot of time. It's not difficult work, it's just time. And so I'd sort of put it to one side with the angel code coming out so soon and the work to bring that into being. And then I got asked this question by my friend in a private message about these particular numbers that she'd been seeing and the sequence of them. And I was able to say to her, well, this is my take on it. This is what the angels are telling me. That then spurred me to go back in. It's time. Look, someone's actually asking for it. So I've been in and I've created the page. So on the page, we've got some basic numbers, beautiful, beautiful numbers. And some of them have blown me away, Carol Anne, as they're being written through me. And they will continue to grow until eventually all the numbers will be there. Now, one of my real passions about this, and it's for those who want to be able to do this. Some people will want to come back and they'll want to have an app, and that's absolutely fine. I personally love them as well. I can see in the future there will be an Angel Light 777 angel numbers app. Yay. What were you saying? Oh, yeah. So it's helping you guys to understand the numbers so that when you're out and about and you see a number plate that just pops out or a phone number on a car or however the numbers come up to your highway number. You know how sometimes those numbers just really reach out and grab you, Carol Anne?
Yeah. And you can just then quickly use your app and look them up.
And my real joy and passion also is to help you become really familiar with the meanings of those numbers in a new way so that you understand them in a new way and they come together in your head. So when I'm out now and I see them, I know exactly what the message is instantly.
Yeah.
Because numbers is one of the ways that I work with signs and signals from the universe. And if you're that kind of person as well, head on over to angellight777.com and check out the beautiful angel numbers that the angels have put up there through me. They're fantastic.
There's just fantastic stuff on angellight777.com. So I advise you all to go over there and have a look. Beautiful meditations, all of the podcasts for all of the amazing hosts who are on Angel Heart Radio, and the Ascended Masters and the Archangels. There's just so much brilliant information on angellight777.com. So go along and have a look.
And it is beautiful. And one of the big challenges has been for me over the years, not really a challenge, but when the angels first asked me to create Angel Light 777, and most of you guys have heard this story before, that I only knew how to read email at the time, so I thought they were just loopy, and how they brought me to the place where I could see exactly how to do it. Everyone else was sort of, putting ads on their page. And I have no problem with that. It's a great revenuing stream, right? I've got no problem with it whatsoever, especially when you've got a really popular site like Angel Light 777. A lot of people. I was reading the list the other day of where people are coming in the world to Angel Light 777. It's kind of mind-blowing. But they said to me what they'd really like is a very gentle place, a place of nurture, comfort, calm. So if we've got ads popping up left, right, it's not going to be that. So I've resisted that for 13 years. Angel Light 777's been going. So it's been a really beautiful cycle for me of trust, Carol Anne, to just let that be. And I've followed that faithfully. And then recently I said to them, maybe it's time. And they said, no, it's not. The time will come when you will have your own shop.
Yeah.
That time will come, and I know it will. So it's, again, following what you have in you, in your heart, that reaches out into your consciousness and says, this feels right or this does not feel right for you.
Yes, it is. And this is it. It's sometimes you have to have a lot of patience, but it's really paid off. I love it. Sometimes I'll be over there. We'll be having our board meetings, which is when we do our planning and having our cups of tea. And then there'll be a bing on Annea's phone. She's, someone from Peru's just looked at my site. And all of these are happening. And it's beautiful. And it just goes to show, because the page is easy to find your way around. As you say, there's no ads. And it's just a beautiful, gentle landing space. And that's what we need. So, sometimes our world is so busy and fast, and everybody's got to get everything done at 100 miles an hour. So to have a place that's calm and just there for you, I think that's really an amazing place to be.
Yeah, I feel the same, because when I first began my journey with the angels, I'm in such personal turmoil, and having a soft place to land is so important for us. So here are some of the places that people are coming to Angel Light 777 from. And if you're from one of these places, I want to say thank you. And of course, there's lots of places that I probably don't even know about. We've got people coming from Portugal, the Netherlands, Romania, Russia, South Africa, Turkey, Puerto Rico, Hong Kong, Iceland, Spain, all over the UK, Hungary, Mexico, all over Canada, Egypt. Oh, imagine this. I had no concept this could happen when I built Angel Light 777. Netherlands, Philippines, Serbia, United Arab Emirates, Jamaica, Serbia, all over Australia, Peru, Vietnam, all over the USA, Croatia, Germany, Japan. It's a lot, isn't it? Japan, South America, Malaysia, Ireland, all over Ireland, South Korea, Sweden. Look at that, Carol Anne. Doesn't it show? It's kind of smacking me in the face a little bit at the moment, but in a beautiful way. I'm kind of
beautiful. It's really beautiful.
It's amazing. If you have something you want to create that feels loving and kind to give to the world, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I'm living proof of, because I knew it was, that movie Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
I knew it was a build it and they will come moment for me. And so what I did when I first created it was I started going to my website and going to the contact page and sending myself messages, the types of messages I wanted to receive from others. So that's just a tip, everyone, and pretty soon they started showing up.
Yeah, and this is an amazing demonstration of when something comes that's created out of trust and love and pure connection with the angels and the spirit realm, it ripples out around the world, and that's exactly what's happening with Angel Light 777. And I said to Renee the other week, I said, do you realise you birthed Angel Heart 777 and you birthed Angel Heart Radio? You were its creator, just like a mother having a child. This was your child, and that you're sharing it with the world.
I got very teary about that because it feels so beautiful. So, look, I know we're talking about, listen to this. Kim's listening as she goes to sleep in Atlanta. God love Kim. We love having you with us. You're such a great supporter on Angel Heart Radio. So this is not even really about me. It's not even about Angel Light 777. It's to demonstrate the endless flow of possibility, because I literally had no clue how to do anything on the computer than turn it on, read my email, turn it off.
Yeah.
And things were much more, a website was much more difficult to create then. Not like now. 13 years ago, it was very different. So go for it. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anybody tell you can't do it. My first website was not gorgeous like it is today, but but I did it.
You did it. Yes, that's right. And you were guided and you believed you could do it. You didn't know that it was going to turn out, but you were. And so that's what the beautiful part of it is. And it's about us stretching ourselves. Like we can all sit in our little comfy spot and, I feel good. It's nice and snuggly here under my blanket or whatever. But there are times that we have to stretch ourselves, to push ourselves. And when it's something as beautiful as this, then it's an amazing journey.
It is. And look at the people who have come. We've got Deb Goldberg with us. Now,
Hi,
Deb,
how are you?
Incredible host on Angel Heart Radio and on Enlightened World Network. Deb says, thank God Anaya birthed Angel Heart Radio. And, look at the people who've come. I mean, Deb Goldberg, just for one. Deb is, she is beyond amazing for a start. I'm pretty sure your website is debbiengoldberg.com. Please let me know if that's correct, Deb. Deb has amazing channel books. I recommend you get them. They're fabulous. So we've had this mirror. We're all mirroring, receiving or reflecting all the time simultaneously.
Yeah.
And sometimes what we see in the mirror is not what we want to see, but every single thing in that mirror has elements of beauty and possibility and many, many opportunities for us.
Yes, it certainly does. And when we stop and think about years when I was younger, I learned to type on a metal typewriter. Like you had to press the keys down with each individual thing. My little fingers would ache at the end of the day from learning to type.
Yeah.
So, how technology has changed, and the fact that when websites are easier to do nowadays, says me, because Anaya made my website. I didn't have to make it. But it is a different world now. So there are so many things that we're being gifted that it's making it easier to do what we need to do when our heart and our soul is in the place that this is the right thing for us to do.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, imagine Deb Goldberg as a case in point. She says she was asleep until one day God spoke to her literally in a meditation and boom, her whole world changed. Now, I know Deb behind the scenes, and I've seen her. I have seen her follow her faith in what she is given in the most staggering ways.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, thank you, God, for creating this amazing vessel on the planet who is so willing to follow and lead, because, you know, what we do leads others, not because we are leaders. As I said, we're all leaders, but because, you know, when we're inspired by someone, we naturally want to be in their light.
Yeah.
We naturally want to share with them and know what they're doing. So, Deb, could you please put your website in the comment section?
And the other thing too is that we are so blessed that we're in the same sphere, that we're in their lifetime, that we're friends, that we're connected. And there's no coincidences in any of those things. You know, I'm a firm believer there's no coincidences in anything in this world. Yeah. And so, you know, to be able to know and to be able to share how beautiful a soul Deb is and what she does for everybody is just such a gift for us. You know, we can express our gratitude that we are here all connected. We're all connected. And this is what the other awesome part about it is. And on Angel Heart Radio, there are beautiful, beautiful hosts on Angel Heart Radio. And so, you know, if somebody had said to me 2 years ago I'd be sitting here now, I would never have believed them. But, you know, here I am. So, you know, anybody can be here. It's just about trusting and stepping into the void. Sometimes we might not feel like doing that step, but it's amazing what happens when we take the step.
Yeah. And taking that step into trust, because not all of us. Okay, so I was sharing a story with Carol Anne the other day about sometimes, you know, we don't fit into the structured boxes that are acceptable in family, communities, schools, etc. I never fit in any of the boxes.
No.
And you know, I was that kid in class where, you know, they would say, who doesn't understand? And up my hand would go, and he'd explain it again. He'd say, right, do you understand now? And I'd have to say, I don't. It was mortifying. But I had to keep saying I didn't understand. But eventually I had a couple of teachers, just two of them, who were willing to take that journey with me, and they would explain it again and again and again until, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I know how to do this. So we don't all appear to be able to grasp certain things, right? Now, one of the things was in home ec. See, in our day, the girls had home ec, the boys had woodwork. That was it. Not like today. It's fabulous today. So we had to make this dress, and it was just so boring, and I hated it so much. And I found that the teacher was just doing everything by rote. There was no connection there. So again, I couldn't get it. And it was a simple pattern, but I couldn't get it. And she'd say, right, unpick it, do it again. Unpick it, do it again. I'd have to go home on the weekends and sit there at that darn sewing machine and do it again, right? Until one day, and I'm not saying this is maybe the best way forward. This is just how it's for me. She knows what's coming. I was so frustrated. I got the biggest pair of scissors in that house that I could find, and I chopped that dress into as many small pieces as I could. I marched into the kitchen. I threw it in the bin, and I went, that's it. And later on, Gabby's got to go. We love you, darling. Thank you for being with us.
Bye.
We'll reach out to you later. One of the things I learned from that growing up was I just didn't fit. I have to have connection. Belinda Brown's with us. I have to have connection. And for some people, that's very important. So if you are one of those types of frequencies that needs that. It's very easy to beat yourself up when you can't run with the crowd, when everybody else is getting it, but you just don't seem to, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, when you're different, you're different. And it's about understanding that fact that we're not all the same. We don't come out of a mold that we're all exactly the same. How boring would that be? But, you know, like I was one of these kids in school that I could never colour within the lines. You know, when I was doing colouring anything, it was never within the lines. And it was like, you know, I was always like that. And as for numbers in school, history, I did geography instead. It was much easier to understand mountains exploding and things like that, and volcanoes than what year a certain king was born or died or whatever. History and numbers never did anything for me.
Either. Like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
What's this got to do with me? And it's not disrespect. It's that the relevance wasn't there. And I just want to duck in with this because we've got Kim saying you were talking about others mirroring ourselves. It's hard. And this is part of mirroring as well, where especially when you're in a classroom situation and you're young and your peers are really relentless with you. It's hard sometimes when you struggle with your children and worry about them. Oh, good Lord, isn't that the truth?
I know.
Have you all ever struggled with 21-year-old children trying to be themselves, but you want to tell them what to do? Kim, you have no idea how much, and I still do today. And my children are in their 40s and 30s. But I understand I should let them do their own thing too. This is such a great question, Carol Anne.
Yes, you have to let them explore. You know, and my darling husband taught me a really good lesson about that. We lost our eldest daughter when she was 6, and so our youngest daughter was 4 at the time. So we only had the 2 girls. And all I wanted to do was wrap Lisa in cotton wool, protect her for the rest of her life. Nothing was going to happen to her. And Mary just said to me, she has to experience life for herself, Carol. You cannot experience and protect her all of her life. Otherwise, what would be the point of her being here? She has to experience for herself. And as hard as it is, and believe me, it was hard, especially when she went away to join the Defence Force Academy in the Air Force. I think I cried a lot of tears that day, but you have to let them experience. You have to trust that you have brought them to this stage of their lives to know the basics of what they need to know. And so they will never learn if we suffocate them. We have to let them.
And they can't fly if their wings are clipped.
You
just
can't.
You know. And sometimes it's so difficult. I mean, when my youngest, Lana, was 18, she decided to move clear across the country. Australia is a big country. She was moving to Perth in Western Australia. And I just wanted to beg her not to go. You know, my son had been away for many years. My other daughter was here, which was great. But she was only 18 and it had been a really rough time for her. Her father had died a couple of years ago through suicide. There'd been a lot of really tremendous challenges for us as a family. And so here's my baby taking off in the world. And she came to me at about 5 o'clock in the morning, the day she was ready to go, with the bags packed. And she said, Mum, I don't think I can go. My heart's going, yes, right? Stay with your mum. Look, this is where you belong. Stay here. But I knew I had to set her free. And it was so hard. And I remember saying to her, Lani, it's only a plane ride away. Why don't you go for a week and just see how you feel? You'll know if you need to come home. She was gone for years.
Yeah.
And so many times I felt so grateful for that surge of courage that came through to stand for her, not for myself.
Yes.
And then when she left home, I just fell into a million pieces. Suddenly, it's, you know, the empty nest syndrome, everyone. Suddenly, I was beside myself. Thank goodness for my good and dear friend Karen, who really helped me through that time. I started thinking about all the times when Lana would ask for a story and I'd say, I'm too tired.
Mm.
Or all the time she wanted to go somewhere and I was too busy.
Mm.
Not now. I haven't got time. I'm busy. Can't you see I'm busy?
Mm.
And I gave myself such a terribly hard time until Karen really pointed out, this is the journey and what you're feeling is completely natural.
Yep.
And you haven't missed any chances because, hey, how many times is Lana going to ask for a story now anyway? And I started to get some perspective. And it freed me. Freeing her freed me.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's right. And this is it. It's amazing how that happens.
Yep.
You know, there's, I just can't think of his name at the moment. See, that's the other thing that, you know, I need to work on is remembering names. But there's a famous philosopher who's has this absolutely amazing book. And the thing he talks about, our children are not our children. We can shape the bows, their bows, but they need to fire their own arrows. And it's true.
Gibran, maybe?
Sorry?
Was it Khalil Gibran?
No, it was Khalil Abram or something like that.
I'm very good with names too.
Good pair, aren't we?
Oh, and so true. That's beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
no, it's very hard when you're a parent to be able to just step back and let them experience for themselves. But it's the only way that they will be able to learn and to grow and to find their place in this world.
Yeah.
Because it's hard enough for them as it is. Whereas if we're putting barriers up and not letting them experience, then yeah. But you know, love them, and think about them being safe. Think about them being supported by the angels and their spirit guides, even if they wouldn't have any idea about what all of that is. But you know, you can still imagine them in this place. And I had a lady come to see me during the week, and she wanted a little bit of, I suppose you'd call it spiritual counselling. I thought she was coming for a reading, but she wanted counselling. And she was talking about a very similar thing. And I said, but she was worried about her son. And I said, well, you know, if he's going out into these places, white light him, stick white light around him, ask the angels to protect him and look after him. And she said, Carol, I know all those things, but she said, I hadn't actually thought to bring them into my son's life or to do this. And so, you know, we might be sort of letting them step out into the world, but we can still be there protecting and guiding them in the background.
Right.
They never learn.
Yeah. And that's such a good point, Carol Anne. The amount of times, okay. Belinda saying, I want to share, today would have been my nan's 100th birthday and I still have a hard time letting go of her in our life. It's not at all easy, is it? Such though, you can see by that such was the bond, the connection, the love that was shared between you and your nan, Belinda. Bill, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for sharing that. And what a blessing that you had that beautiful connection and express the gratitude that you had that time together.
And it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. God, we know that.
We do know that. So you know, Kim says heart, light and love coming your way. Beautiful wisdom, Carol, from Deb. Deb says, I saw a gorgeous comment from Deb before about having the, you know, it's like the angel's wings under our wind under our wings. It might have scrolled through. We've got some fantastic comments coming through in this chat today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So, you know, letting go is not an easy process. And I'm still doing it today. I'm a grandmother. The amount of times I wanted to tell my daughter how to raise her children. Oh, you don't, I mean, I've found it very difficult. Yet I had the right to raise my children. She's got the right to raise hers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy to step back, but step back we must, and we need to support our kids. So for you, Kim, with your 21-year-old, find all the ways that you can to build them up about, you know, how Alyssa, is it? She's listening while you're working. Yay. I often put it on my telly and wander around and do my things and listen. So if building our kids up to trust their own discernment, you know, how they feel. Do you feel this is a good thing for you? Do you feel safe in this situation? Do you feel strong in this situation? Because they're learning so much. And I have to say, my kids, including Josh, who came to our family as a friend of my son's, but then very quickly became a family member when he moved to the USA. And I was like, oh, for crying out loud, how far away do you have to go? Get back here. But, you know, helping them all to spread their wings, live their lives in a way that's feels really strong and important for them to know how capable I believe them to be, how much trust I have in them, that yes, you will make choices and decisions that might come crashing around you and you'll regret it bitterly, but it's part of the process, what you do with it, what you do from there.
Yes.
Because I've made many choices and decisions that I've looked back and thought, what in God's name was I ever thinking? And I wasn't thinking, I was feeling, I was experiencing something I needed to learn through.
Yep. And that's how we learn and we grow and we move through life. And you know, I think a part of it is just knowing how you have brought your children up. You know, we all make mistakes in all of that, but trusting that they will learn. They have learned from what you have taught them. It's brought them to this place. And so, you know, it's about being able to let go. And, you know, I look at my daughter now and I just think to myself, oh my God, she's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm just so blessed to have been her mother. And that's what I feel about my other daughter as well, Danielle. You know, she only had 6 years with us, but I was so blessed to be her mother. Mind you, it took me a lot of time to get to that place, but that's another story. But it also helped to make me who I am today. And so, you know, no matter what the lesson is and how we learn it, it helps to make us who we are. It helps us to learn, to grow, and to move forward in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Alyssa's saying, I want to help my son, but sometimes he doesn't want to listen. He's over 30. My patience is very low. Want to help, but feel really low energy now. This is such a challenge. One of the things that really helped me, Alyssa, and I hope this might be of assistance to you, Doreen Virtue actually taught it to me, was how we can ask our guardian angels to chat with our children's guardian angels. Some people believe you have one, some people believe you have more. Doesn't matter. Right? It's the energy. So for me, I would then say to my guardian angels, I'd be very concerned about something going on with one of my children. And so I would then ask my guardian angels to chat to theirs, and in a supportive way, not to ask them to do anything or to behave in a certain way. That I found a trick, because I wanted to, can you tell them to do this? Can you tell them to do that? No, it doesn't work that way. They've got free will. They're expressing their learning. So I would say, dear guardian angels, please talk. Can you please go to someone else's guardian angels and ask that they be fully supported in their belief in themselves. Ask them to feel my love. Ask them to tap into their divine wisdom. Ask them to really be encouraged, support them in this way. So their choices are still their own. And it began to make me feel better. And the other big thing, Alyssa, my God, this has been gold for me, let me tell you. This is my prayer. I request a most benevolent outcome for my thoughts and feelings about ... And may the outcomes be better than asked for or expected. Thank you. And I learnt that from Tom Timor. He's got a book called The Gentle Way, and it's brilliant. It's full of prayers like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The getting our own guardian angels to talk to another person's guardian angels is absolute gold. Absolute gold. It's so easy and we can all do it. And, it's always for the highest good because we're doing it via our guardian angels.
Yes.
And the angels can only ever do things that are for the highest good. So
and it's not about our agenda.
No.
I want my child to do or to say or to be. It's about, I want to support my child while they're doing and saying and being whatever it is they need to for their own soul's journey. And some of those journeys can be very, very, very rough for a parent to witness. But that requesting a most benevolent outcome for my thoughts and feelings about, so I can't tell you the amount of times I've been absolutely beside myself with worry through the night in tears about something that I'm probably blown way out of proportion, and say that prayer and request that, and the relief is almost instant. Yes. And then I wake up the next morning and think I went to sleep and I didn't even know. That's how much love there is for us available all the time. And Melissa says, I will try and talk to mine. I pray, but now we'll try this. Good for you.
You'll be surprised at how good it is.
And the journey it takes you on.
Yeah.
It's an opening, isn't it? Yeah. And so for you, Belle, if you're still watching, it can be the same for you. I request a most benevolent outcome for my thoughts and feelings and, feelings of loss around my Nan. And may the outcomes be better than asked for or expected. Thank you.
Thank you.
So look at that.
Look at that.
It's simple, but it's just knowing how to do it. And I can't even reach that book to show you. This book, The Gentle Way, Tom does a lot of different things. This is the thing I know about with Tom. His other work I'm not familiar with and I haven't explored. But he was on Angel Heart Radio a couple of times talking about this, and boy, it's fantastic. And I recommended this book to so many people, and so many people bought it and reported back to me that it was a brilliant purchase for them.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've got the book, Belle, if you ever want to borrow it. Send me a message, love.
All right. Well, this was a different show to what we thought it was going to be, but it's been great, and I hope you've all enjoyed it out there.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. It's really exciting for us to be able to connect with you and having your comments here. So when you come into the Angel Heart Radio Facebook page, watch the live video and enter your comments. We can see, I can see them. Carol Anne will be able to as well soon, but I can see them and respond. And look how much a part of the show you become. It's gorgeous for us, Carol Anne, isn't it?
It is. It's great. And it makes us feel more connected to you, as I'm sure it makes you feel more connected to us. And that's what the whole thing's all about. It's being here for you. It's not just about us having a little gab fest here, because we can do that over a cup of tea, Exactly. So yeah, I love you being a part of our show. It's just takes it to a whole different dimension.
Yeah, and you then direct us. What's important to you today? What do you need today? For example, Belle's saying she's painting a garden gnome in her nan's honour. Isn't that gorgeous?
Awesome. That's awesome.
We get to know these things. Love you both. Thank you, Deb. We love you too. Thank you for being with us, everyone. And thank you for the contribution you make to the planet by being willing to be here and experience these things and rise to these challenges, because some of them are very steep.
Some of them are difficult.
Yeah, expressing your love and learning that you have so much wisdom you probably don't even know about. So tap into it. Talk to your angels.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you next time, everybody. Now, what are you going to say, Anaya?
You'll come back now.
Okay.
But it's cute. I love it. Thanks, everyone. We really appreciate you and value you and look forward to spending some more time with you the same time next week. And of course, there's lots of other amazing hosts on Angel Heart Radio. So do check in. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Anaya. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank
Love
you, Carol
you.
Anne. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.